Hello and welcome to the third episode of Joy Made Millionaire. I'm Brian Cohen, a seven-figure entrepreneur and coach who would love to help you to be a little happier in your business. We have multiple live streams going, not as many as we had hoped for, but that's okay. Technical difficulties can happen when you are bringing the live into the action. My apologies for those of you who were here at the top of the hour and did not have a video happening right away. I have loved, oh my gosh, have I loved all of the amazing feedback you guys have given over on the various socials as well as on Apple Podcasts. I did see we had a little bit of a blip with the recorded feed. It was just our podcast host being funky, but I appreciate you. And hey to Dharma, hey to everybody else watching. As my mother sends me a big blaring text, and I reach over to turn off all of my notifications. So I love today's topic, where we are going to talk about celebration. We are going to talk about goals. We are going to talk about the things that us wonderful achievers love to do and that we hate to do. What do us achievers, as I see Kathleen and Christine hopping into the chat? Good morning, good afternoon. Hey, Brenda. Hey, the regulars are here. I love it. Us achievers love setting goals. We love setting big goals. We've heard of the term the BHAGs, the big, hairy, audacious goals. And yet, when we achieve a goal, what do we tend to do? When we actually achieve a goal, what do we tend to do? We tend to move the goalposts. We pretend that milestone was never even there to begin with, and we say, great, I got that check mark. Let's move on to the next thing. When we say, I want to reach X number of dollars per month, and we reach X number of dollars per month, and then we go ahead and say, I actually wanted X plus 5. I actually wanted X plus Y. And then we forget that we had that goal to begin with, and then we look back and say, I failed. We say that I failed because, yes, I achieved X goal, but I didn't achieve X plus Y. How many of you out there have felt a similar thing? I know that I'm raising my hand high because I absolutely have done this to myself. I have absolutely set a goal and then said, actually, no, my goal is something bigger. And so, what do we do to avoid this? What do we do to make sure that we aren't just setting goals and pushing goalposts over and over and over again? First and foremost, we can reward ourselves, not far after we achieve our goals, but when we achieve our goals, we can set up rewards for ourselves. We can set up rewards for ourselves, and we don't have to limit ourselves to setting up rewards just for when we achieve the goal. We can get rewards all along the way. Something I started doing last year that I really, really enjoyed because I like to achieve certain amounts of revenue in my business. Something that I set up for myself was I actually made it so every such and such amount of money generated by my business, Best Page Forward, over the course of the month, I had my goal, but I had signposts, I had benchmarks along the way. Every so often, I would set that I was going to get a treat for myself. And that treat was not necessarily a food treat, though it certainly could be. These treats were little things to get for me, my wife, my daughter, that we would enjoy, that would make us happy. I actually, over the course of the last couple of months with this, I got this new podcast microphone. I got a new podcast camera. I got, let's see, a new phone. I got all sorts of stuff along the way that I would not have necessarily gotten for myself. I would have delayed the process. Now, some of those rewards are bigger than others, but I absolutely felt better about making my way toward my goal because there were little things I got to do to reward myself. I've seen people in the author industry do things like what we used to do back in school with stickers and fun little rewards in a journal that make the process feel worthwhile all along the way. And so when you get to that actual mark of the goal, you've not just rewarded yourself once, you've rewarded yourself many times over. And so I ask you, my wonderful live listeners, my live viewers, and then those of you thinking at home, watching the podcast, or who are in the courtesy of your own home at whatever time you want listening to the podcast, what is a reward you could give yourself for achieving your goal? So a bigger, badder, better reward. And what are some small little things you could give yourself along the way? I have an amazing client who loves rocks. She loves multicolor, beautiful rocks. And so when she achieves a certain amount of words written, she actually has bought a giant mystery pack of rocks, and she lets herself have one of the rocks when she gets that amount done. And this doesn't have to just be words written. It could be amount of cold outreaches made. It could be amount of email words written to an email that you are going to send out to your list. It could be any number of things that you could do to reward yourself. So I know you're out there, live, wonderful people. What is a reward you could give yourself? I want to hear your ideas. I will even go to my own documents. I will go to my own documents and I will look at my prizes doc. I will look at my prizes docs to see what I have actually given as prizes to myself. This went back all the way into October. I bought myself an Eagles hoodie because I'm from Philadelphia. I bought new workout clothes. I bought a video game system that my daughter loves. It's a movement system called Nex, and she loves it. And we move our bodies instead of just sitting around on our butts. Acupuncture session, solo movie date for me. I actually haven't fulfilled that one quite yet. Dry needling session. Highly recommend for those of you who have any carpal tunnel or anything. Dry needling. The new podcast mic. I got a new tablet for my daughter. Car detailing, bikes, new iPhone, all sorts of things that, all said and done didn't cost that much. The iPhone certainly on the high end of things, but they helped spur me to action, and you are allowed to not just push yourself to the brink for nothing. You are allowed to reward yourself. You are allowed to celebrate. Charity May says, every time I think of something I'd like to have just because it would be nice, I add it to a list of possible rewards. And when I make goals, I attach an item to that goal. I love that. I'm so glad you're doing that. Rachel says, a fun custom keyboard. Great idea. Becca says, Lego sets. Oh, you and my daughter would love putting together some Lego sets. She's big on the Lego Friends sets. Kathleen gave herself a new desk for getting back to the writing. I love this. Tracy says camping time. Love this. This is something that you are personally excited about, so it works. Christine, buying new book covers for future books. This is fun. And then Brenda, a spa treatment. I love that. I love that. Just checking to see if anyone, the Instagram feed doesn't populate. And so also, Christine says travel, and I think travel is always a good one. So if we're going to take some action from today, then what we can do is write these down, actually take action on it. I don't want you to just think up good ideas while you are listening to this show. As I cheers myself, apparently. I want you to take action. So your homework for today, part 1, because there's going to be a part 2. Get excited for part 2. Your homework is to write this down and actually set it up as a reward for yourself. Your homework. Tell me in the chat, live people, when you put this into your planner. I want you to do it. Yes, Carolyn. This year is all about the action. I absolutely agree with you. Barbara says, when I finish a book, I take a few days for genealogy research, my favorite hobby. Awesome and tax deductible if it's for your book. And then Dharma, buying a movie or a TV show online. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is part 1. That was all part 1, if you can believe it. Here's part 2, and this is something I am actively working on. I am actively seeking the advice of the people who I'm receiving coaching from. I provide coaching to authors and entrepreneurs looking to scale, but I also receive coaching because I always try to have a beginner mindset with this. There's always things I can learn. There are things I can learn from everyone watching and listening to this show. There are things I can learn from people who are at a higher level than me. I always love talking to people that are at this level beyond where I am, income-wise, mindset-wise, because it allows me to expand. It allows me to grow. And when you are able to grow your mindset, your belief system, your consciousness, you are able to achieve some of the higher level things you want. Some of your goals become so much easier when you connect with these higher level people. So remember to do that, folks, and absolutely feel free to reach out to me at brian@joymademillionaire.com if you are interested in hearing more about how I can help you to grow. So, what else can we do with celebrations? Because it's very interesting. We have a system where we have all these goals, but we don't always celebrate them. So that is a problem. There are solutions like making yourself. I don't see a lot of people commenting, by the way, that they've put this in their planner. Anyone on the live, I want you to comment and say that you've put into your planner that you're going to put your reward idea connected up with your achievement. So when I joined the wonderful mastermind group I'm a part of with Amanda Francis, I learned that the concept of you can celebrate before. You can celebrate prior to the goal happening. And celebrating the thing that you are going to achieve in the future, that is done, that is written, that is happening, that is going to happen in the future. My wonderful assistant, Amy, always corrects me when I say if, and she says when, not if, but when. When you are going to achieve your goal in the future, when it's destined to happen, when it is divinely written, one might say, you can celebrate early. You are allowed to celebrate now. I have a big webinar coming up for Best Page Forward tomorrow as I'm recording this episode for Joy Made Millionaire. And so I have been asking around, what can I do to celebrate this webinar going well, having gone well, depending on how you feel about this energetically, even though it's in the future, saying, yes, it is destined, it is going well, it has gone well, how to celebrate ahead of time. You are allowed. You have my permission. I had to get permission, and now I'm giving you permission. You may celebrate this achievement early. How do we do that? In small ways? A little bit of music, a little bit of dancing never hurts. Celebrating all the little bits on the way. There is a known thing that I do in my Best Page Forward Slack channel where all of my team members connect. When we sell a thing, even if we haven't achieved the major goal, when we sell a thing, I post a GIF of Kool and the Gang performing their song Celebration, and I listen to the song Celebration, celebrate good times. Come on, it's probably my most played track on my Amazon Music account. And so I highly, highly recommend dance around like you have already achieved it. Sing loud in the car or in your office like you've already achieved it. Give yourself a big hug. Take a wonderful bath. Get a massage. Do something to celebrate that this has already happened, because you are teaching. Look, to go a little bit woo-woo here, you are teaching the universe that good things are coming to you. You are telling the universe, hey, I'm open. I'm ready to receive these good things coming to me. And one of the ways we can do this is to get at a higher vibration, to be at a good vibe, to feel good about our lives. And dancing around, singing around, moving our bodies, feeling the grass underneath our feet, feeling the sunshine on our bodies, doing these small little, I've already done it. I've done it. It's here. It's amazing. I love it. I'm so excited. Putting that out there doesn't feel realistic, but it feels amazing. And sometimes, my friends, it is worth it to just toss the realism, the pessimism, toss it to the side and feel effing good about your life. And I know that when things feel challenging, it is hard to shake that off and dance around. It is difficult to actually try these things out. But you know what? It's hard living it the negative way too. So if you have a choice to live it the positive, energetic, open way, or the negative, closed off, realistic, so-called realistic way, I choose the celebrating. I choose the dancing. I choose the singing. I choose the happiness. I choose to celebrate early. So, homework part 1 was to make sure that in your planner you had written down a reward to celebrate the thing when you actually achieve it. So, next up, homework part 2. I want you to celebrate ahead of time. I want you to choose the small and fun ways you get to celebrate ahead of time. I want you to put that in your planner, and I want you to tell me in the chat, those of you who are live, I want you to tell me in the chat that you have done it, because when it gets written down, it is more likely to get done. I don't want you to pretend you wrote it down. I don't want you to think about writing it down. I want you to write the dang thing down, because then you can make progress with it. And progress is amazing. So, and there were a couple of folks who had commented on the previous thing that they had done it. Rachel had already made a 2026 punch card with her keyboard on it. Tracy had marked off some days in her calendar. Beautiful. Scarlett has it on her calendar for Friday to set up a comprehensive system. Y'all, it is perfectly legit to set aside time on your calendar to do these deeper things. I love it. I love it. Christine just created an award sheet in her planner. Yes. Lucia, reward system in planner. Yes. Dharma has a note in Evernote. Love it, love it, love it. Carolyn is doing this. Reward list is coming together today to help you visualize those moments of success. Yes. And Carolyn, you've made a great point. I don't tend to be a visual person. I still find that visualizing success can be helpful. What does your success look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? You are allowed, if you are a sensory type person, what do you hear? Do you have a thing set up where you get a cha-ching when you hit certain dollar amounts? Does your phone ring and you get Stripe or PayPal notifications or Wise notifications or what have you? Hear that sound. See those notifications coming up. Visualize it, hear it, sense it in whatever way makes sense for you to sense it. You are allowed to get weird. Almost everyone I know who has had high levels of success does some weird shit to get there. They do. And you do not have to be normal to be successful. I love this. Carolyn says, sleeping first class flight to Europe, the sound of the plane, the feeling of the chair, reclining, the getting offered the champagne. Yes. Barbara has written things down. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So you've got your homework assignments down. And I'm so happy that you have written these things down, because it is proven. There's research. When you write things down, they are a lot more likely to happen. Carolyn's like, I can do some weird stuff. I love it. I love it. There is nothing wrong. You have my permission to be woo-woo, to be weird, to let your spouse look at you weird. I'm considering myself, look, I am your woo-woo business supportive person here. I am here to give you that permission. You are allowed to do it. And the people who have had great success before us and will have great success after us, they are proof that celebrating these goals and even celebrating ahead of these goals makes a difference. Those of you who are finding the Joy Made Millionaire fun, please feel free to go by Apple Podcasts and write a review. Feel free to let people know about it. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, and you know someone who would benefit from this, we benefit so much from word of mouth. We want this to get everywhere and anywhere. In my future vision of Joy Made Millionaire, we have thousands of people joining us live every week. We have tens of thousands of people on our email list who are getting links to the podcast every single week. We have folks who are looking to go to a higher level who are reaching out to me and saying, Brian, please coach me with some of the stuff you're talking about on Joy Made Millionaire. And I say, yes, of course I will. I would love to. And so I am going to celebrate those successes coming to the podcast. And I am so, so happy that you have tuned in today. I hope that you will check us out at joymademillionaire.com, where you can get the 10 ways to add joy to your business. You can get that free sheet and you will get notifications via email, ideally sent out a little earlier than this week, where I nearly forgot to send the email out. If it hadn't been for Kyle on my team, I absolutely would not have. So thank you, Kyle. And if you sign up, you will find out when we are going live, which is typically going to be Wednesdays at noon Eastern. I love you guys. I appreciate you listening to the show. Thank you, Carolyn and Barbara and Kathleen and Dharma and Lucia and Christine and Scarlett, Tracy, Rachel, everybody who tuned in, Becca. I appreciate all of you, and I will be back next week for another live brand new episode. And Renee and other people who joined, thank you. I will be back for another live episode of Joy Made Millionaire. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.